Hi, I'm Mark Middleton, live in Growing Boulder's worldwide headquarters. This is a constant hub of optimism where we share the stories of ordinary people that are living extraordinary lives. But while we like to focus on possibility, we never ignore reality. While we believe ferociously in what can be, we try to never look away from what is. And what is today are back-to-back disturbing statistics. Yesterday, we passed a tragic milestone with over 500,000 U.S. deaths from COVID-19. I'm sure you've seen the statistics. More Americans have now died from the virus than on the battlefields of World War I, World War II, and the Vietnam War combined. And then, of course, just a few days ago, the National Center for Health Statistics issued a new report that shows that the average U.S. life expectancy dropped by more than a full year in 2020, down to an average of 75.1 years for men and 80.5 years for women. And the last time that the U.S. dropped a full year of life expectancy inside a single year was during World War II, back in the 1940s. Thanks largely to COVID-19, 2020 is now the deadliest year in U.S. history, with total deaths topping 3 million for the first time ever. And yet many of us are still fact resistant. We don't take the pandemic seriously. And because of that, the U.S., with only 4% of the world's population, has now suffered more than 20% of the world's coronavirus deaths. So how do we put a Growing Boulder spin on these two recent reports? We remind ourselves that life is a fragile gift, that time is precious, that family and friends are everything, and maybe above all else, that we need to do everything we can to improve our overall health and to diminish the impact of health setbacks and the burden that they place on our entire healthcare system. I think we've all seen how dedicated our frontline healthcare workers are. They're dedicated to our health. They're dedicated to saving our lives at the risk of their own. And seeing their dedication, understanding their risk, should help us all understand our personal obligation to our own health and to the health of those around us. You know, far too many of us don't take care of ourselves. And when we're young, I mean, let's admit it, odds are to some extent we can get away with it for a while. But as we grow older, we have to work harder every year to maintain, because when something unforeseen like a major health setback or a pandemic intervenes, it can accelerate our physical and our mental decline. If we let it, it can become the beginning of the end. But here's why we remain optimistic, why this continues to be a center of hope and inspiration and possibility. Because we've learned from you, from the stories of those we've been reporting on for more than a decade now, that there is always a way forward. There can not only be better times ahead, there can actually be the best of times ahead. Trying times like right now are not the time to give up. They are the time to double down, to work harder than ever to improve our lifestyle and to support and encourage one another to get moving. Yeah, I admit some things are out of our control. Bad things do happen to good people, but we can't let that be an excuse for not trying. So never allow yourself to think that this is the beginning of the end. Start thinking that this is the beginning of what's next, because that is Growing Bolder. You guys have a great day, and we'll see you next time.